Hi everyone, my name is Minh Truong and welcome to my full stack networking presentation. And as I give this presentation, I would like to include this network folder that contains the statement of work along with my project diagram and also my business card attached. Now, let me begin this presentation formally. Just give me a minute. There we go. Sorry. Hopefully y'all didn't see that. Alright. Now, let's begin. This is my full stack networking presentation, and I am the network engineer. And my mentors are Jacob Hess, Bill Goodwin, Rob Riker, and Michael Lamarck. Moving forward, this is the project summary where we have 350 LAN users at HQ and 40 VoIP phones, one server, both corporate and guest Wi-Fi access, along with 2 internet connections, a private and PSTN, private RAN and PSTN connection with L2L VPN. And as you can see here are the summary for the branch 1 and branch 2 offices. Now, here is my project diagram where you would see my HQ internet router, voice router, and RAN router, along with my core switches, server, access points, access switches, along with the workstations and tablets involved. Now, as you can see, we have one internet connection and a private RAN connection and a PSTN connection with a also redundancy built towards our core LAN switches and a single internet access point. Now, here are our core switches that have IP routing enabled along with VLAN trunking protocol server mode configured, so we could create and modify our VLANs, along with a spanning tree port path to skip the forwarding state and bypass the listening and learning states. We also have the spanning tree root primary and secondary VLANs that are assigned for each VLAN. We configured an ACL to regulate access to SSH. And our static routes regulate traffic going to either internet router or RAN router. Our access switching here are BTP client mode, which they cannot create nor modify, but they can update and forward their VLANs. And like core switch, their ACL. They have ACL for SSH. Now their workstations can communicate to other network devices via ping, internet access, etc., but they cannot SSH. Only the NOC PC can do both because they belong in the management VLAN. Alright, moving on to our HQ internet router. Of course, we got the Security K9 version here because we have to use the cryptograph or SA command to implement our SSH. And that goes to all of our routers in our wide area network. And then we have iOS firewall inspection rules configured, along with the access control list, extended protect, along with the NAT translations configured as well. Moving on to our WAN wide area network router, BGP is configured to exchange routing information between the autonomous system on the internet. ISACANT policy is also configured to set a VPN policy and crypto map for IPsec site-to-site VPN to branch 2. ACL is configured to match traffic going to and from branch 2 networks. We also have another crypto map configuration to apply for a VPN only interface. We also have the voice quality of service configured to favor voice traffic during times of congestion. And we also have RTP configured as the access list that matches voice bearer traffic. Now moving on, we have the HQ server here that is configured for network timing protocol (NTP) for our timekeeper, along with configuring DHCP, where our workstations will get our IPs from this server right here. And moving on to our wireless connection, AP1, AP2, we have one that's connected to the core and the other to the access, and both of them are configured as WPA2 PSK authentication, along with an IP helper address that would route the HCP request for a guest network by forwarding BootP traffic. Our access control list extended is for the internet only group that allows BootP traffic for DHCP and denies RFC 1918. BootP stands for Bootstrap Protocol, and it has no support for temporary IP addressing. DHCP server supports for temporary IP addressing, but only for a limited period of time. Our RFC 1918, or of course the private networks that involves 10.0, 172.16, and 192.168. Sorry about that. And moving forward. Right. Lost track there. Now, I mean to skip branch 1 and branch 2 so quickly during the summary, but the diagram will be there in the statement of work. Now, as to continue on to branch 1, we have, of course, the UCK9 evaluation license agreement on this router, and BGP peering to be configured to share routes with headquarters over the private RAN. CDP, which is Cisco Discovery Protocol, is disabled to ensure CDP messages are not sent to the private network, and also the access control list extended PSTN group is configured to only allow necessary traffic from the PSTN provider. This access list will only allow SIP, RTP, and ICMP from the PSTN provider. And we also configured dial peers for making phone calls to the outside world. This switch is, configured to be BTP mode transparent. And for BTP mode transparent, they are configured locally. They do not accept VLAN advertisements, nor do they forward BTP advertisements. I said that wrong. I mean, they do forward BTP advertisements, and they do not send BTP update requests, nor send BTP update. So to clarify, they do forward the BTP advertisements, but they do not accept the VLAN advertisements. Moving on to branch 2, the switch is on BTP mode transparent as well, where the BTP updates are disregarded. The router will set up the VPN policy and crypto map for IPsec site-to-site VPN to HQ. The ISACANT policy and the IPsec SA lifetime and transform set is configured as well. And to describe the IPsec SA is IPsec Security Association lifetime that is configured for 24 hours, and the general principle behind this is that given enough time or enough traffic protected under a single key, an attacker can break that key. Over time, a key's effective lifetime is reduced by advances made by cryptanalysis. The PIX firewall allows you to fine-tune the key lifetime with the crypto IPsec Security Association lifetime command as we configured on this router. And again, our configuration is set for 24 hours. The ACL is created for the crypto map that matches any traffic going to HQ networks, and another ACL that's created that only allows traffic from the HQ IPsec VPN tunnel. And look at the end, our DHCP pool for voice and data VLANs are provided. And again, here's my business card where you see my contact number and email. You could reach out to me at any time. And I know I didn't include too much detail about my diagram nor my statement of work, but if you have any questions at all, feel free to contact me and I'll make sure I will cover all of your concerns. Now let me turn this around. Yep. Thank you so much, guys, for listening on my presentation. And I made it as brief as possible compared to my first trial, which lasted about 25 minutes. Hopefully I cut that in half so I could upload this video in my Google Drive folder for NexGenT. Now to follow, Jacob has a slogan for my NexGenT supporters and followers. It's time to level up. Y'all have a good evening.